Attention, Tree TV viewers. Our show ends at 8 p.m. If you need any assistance, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to help. Have a pleasant good evening. As always, thank you for watching Tree TV. Fine dining pared down. When your guests would rather not be keeping company with calories, treat them to this special meal. Roasted beef tenderloin. Prep 10 minutes plus. Marinating. Bake 45 minutes and standing. An overnight marinade provides a savory seasoning for this tenderloin. I serve this simple, elegant roast on many special occasions, says Shelby Thompson from Dover, Delaware. First, you need 1 beef tenderloin, around 3 pounds, half a cup of port wine or half a cup of beef broth, and 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, your choice. Half a cup of reduced sodium soy sauce, not regular, reduced. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 to 5 garlic cloves, preferably minced, or you don't have the time and the energy to do that, then whole ones will work as well. 1 bay leaf, I recommend 2 for the extra flavor. 1 tablespoon of dried thyme, I recommend 2, more flavor. 1 teaspoon of pepper, oh what the heck, use as much pepper as you want, don't listen to any cookbook. And a half teaspoon of hot pepper sauce. I recommend don't use a pepper sauce, but that's just me, but it's your choice. To me, it's optional. To prepare for this lovely meal, tie the roast at 2 inches verticals with kitchen string or twine, whichever you could afford. In a bowl, combine the remaining ingredients. Mix well. Pour 3/4 cup of marinade into a large resealable plastic bag. Add a tenderloin. Seal bag and turn to cold. Refrigerate for 8 hours or overnight, preferably overnight to get that maximum flavor in your tenderloin roast. Cover and refrigerate remaining marinade, or if you're in a bowl, pretty much drink it and shoot it like a shooter. Drain and discard marinade from beef. Place tenderloin on a rack in a shallow roasting pan. Bake uncovered at 425 degrees for 45 to 60 minutes or until roast reaches desired doneness. For rare, a meat thermometer should be read 140 degrees, medium 160 degrees, and well done 170 degrees. How dare you? Basin occasionally with reserved marinade. Transfer to warm platter. Let stand 10 minutes before slicing. Serve with remaining reserved marinade. Yields 12 servings. Nutritional analysis value. 1 serving of beef tenderloin yields 3 ounces of cooked beef equals 228 calories, 16 grams of fat, 7 of those which are saturated fat, 122 milligrams of cholesterol, 391 milligrams of sodium, 2 grams of carbohydrates, a trace of fiber, maybe 2, and 40 grams of protein. Diabetic exchange, 5 ounces of lean meat. You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. The thing with money is, it makes you do things you don't want to do. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all of its form, greed for life, for money, for love, knowledge, has marked the upward surge in mankind in greed. You mark my words, we not only saw a Teller paper, but that other manufacturing corporation called the USAID. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, I am Greta Thunberg, and this is my report on climate change. How dare you? All we have to do is wake up and change. We have to tell the truth. Our leaders are behaving like children. You are stealing their future in front of their eyes. Why should I be studying for a future that soon may not be more? Some decision makers in particular have known exactly what priceless values they have been sacrificing. I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic. Political leaders have wasted decades throughout denial and inaction. How dare you? Sugar, spice, everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girls. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an X ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born. Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fight crime and the forces of evil. For way too long, the politicians and people in power have got away with not doing anything at all to fight the climate crisis and ecological crisis. But we will make sure that they will not get away with it any longer. We will never stop fighting. We will never stop fighting for this planet, for ourselves, our futures, and for the futures of our children and grandchildren. We are the ones making the difference. This ongoing irresponsible behavior will no doubt be remembered in history as one of the greatest failures of humankind. Sometimes we just simply have to find a way. Any way. The moment we decided to fulfill something, we can do anything. And I'm sure the moment we start behaving as if we were in an emergency, we can avoid climate and ecological catastrophe. Humans are very adaptable. We can still fix this. We can fix this. But the opportunity to do so will not last for long. We must start today. Not tomorrow, not in the future, today. We have no more excuses. We will go back to school the moment you start listening to science and reasoning and give us a future. Preferably my future. This is above all an emergency and not just any emergency. This is the biggest crisis humanity has ever faced. This is not something you can like on Facebook. Politicians 1 second say climate change is very important. It's the most important topic and we're going to do anything we can to stop it. And the next second they want to expand railroads, build new coal power plants and motorways, build new train tracks, build new roads, build new nuclear power plants, build new dams, you name it, they do it. And then they fly off in a private jet or private yacht to attend a meeting on the other side of the world. I am not that special. I can't convince everyone. Well, I can. I'm just going to do what I want to do and what will have most impact, which is nothing. Of course, there are climate deniers, like me, who want to do everything to shift the focus of the climate crisis to something else or want to make people question the science. This is the year 2020. This is not time to place for dreams. This is a time to wake up and smell the coffee. This is a moment in history where we need to be wide awake. You must not gamble your children's future or my future on the flip of a coin. Instead, you must unite behind science. You must take action. You must do the impossible. Because giving up can never ever be an option. Unless you're the French. And then you can give up. This is all wrong. I should be up here. I should be back in school with my friends on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope and change. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, in my childhood with your empty words. Without the sense of urgency, how can we, the people, understand that we are facing a real crisis? If the people are not fully aware of what is going on, then they will not put pressure on the people in power to act. Without pressure from the people, our leaders can basically get away with not doing anything. There is hope. I've seen it. But it's not come from the government or corporations. It comes from the people, preferably me. The people who have been unaware are now starting to wake up. And once we become aware, we can change, and people are ready for change. And just remember, people are people. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. So we're different colors, and we're different breeds, and different people have different needs. It's obvious you hate me, though I done nothing wrong. I never even met you, so what could I have done? I can't understand what makes a man hate another man. Help me understand. People are people, so what it should be. You and I should get along so awfully. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. Help me understand. Help me understand. Help me understand. I'm Greta Thunberg, and this is the Greta Hour. Thank you for listening to me, and remember, how dare you? Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Quando ami funkis mortati. When all else fails, play dead. I'm a man, but I can change if I have to, I guess. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Hello readers, today's Cooking with Thomas, we have today my favorite dish, apple oat snack cake. To make this cake, prep time is about 25 minutes, bake time is 40 minutes, plus maybe 10 to 15 minutes in cooling time, depends on the temperature of the atmosphere in your room. Apples and oats make a very delicious flavor combination, just like peanut butter and jelly, and they are delicious in this snack cake. This note is from Julie Domovich from Alpine, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Judy, for donating to this cause of the Cooking Hour with Thomas. To make this apple oat snack cake, you need the following ingredients: 1 cup of boiling water, half a cup of old-fashioned oats, preferably from the Quaker Oat brand, not our family, 1 cup and 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, not whole wheat flour, not soybean flour, oil, but regular all-purpose flour, preferably white, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I recommend no salt, but it's up to you. 3/4 cup of sugar, white sugar, not brown sugar. 3/4 cup pack of brown sugar, not white sugar. 1/3 cup of unsweetened applesauce, not sweet because the sugar will add a sweetness to the applesauce, thus use unsweetened. 1 egg, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 1. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or if you're feeling fancy, vanilla imitation if you are feeling fancy and don't have enough money, that's cheap version. 1 medium apple, peeled and chopped. I prefer a Granny Smith apple, which has a very semi-tart taste. But if you don't like tart apples, then a Red Delicious or Johnny Gold red apple work too. And to make topping for the apple oat snack cake, you need half a cup of old-fashioned oats. Just remember, Quaker brand, not our family. A fourth cup of all-purpose flour. A fourth cup of packed brown sugar. If you want to use dark brown sugar, go right ahead. It's up to you. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I prefer 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon because I like cinnamon myself, but it's up to you. And 3 tablespoons of cold butter. To make this dish, in a bowl, combine boiling water and oats and set aside. In a different bowl, combine the flour, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt in a large mixing bowl. Mix it with a hand mixer or electric blender, your choice. Combine the sugars and applesauce and beat well, preferably about 5 minutes. Add the egg, vanilla, and oat mixture. Mix well. Stir into dry ingredients just until combined. You fold in apple. Pour into an 8-inch square baking dish coated with non-stick cooking spray. I prefer Pam or Our Family, but if you want to use regular stick butter to coat your pan, go right ahead. For the topping, combine the oats, flour, brown sugar, and cinnamon. You cut the butter until a mixture resembles coarse crumbles, which will take some time, but with patience and adversity, hope will be revealed. And you sprinkle the crumble over the butter to make a perfect finish. You bake at 350 degrees for 40-45 minutes or until the toothpick that you insert in the middle comes out clean. And you cool on a wire rack, like I said, between 10 and 15 minutes. This apple oat snack cake serves 12 people. And nutritional value. 1 piece of apple oat snack cake has 286 calories, 4 grams of fat, 2 of those of which are saturated fat, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, 196 milligrams of sodium, 58 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, and 5 grams of protein. If you want more recipes or have any recipes you want to give to me, please contact me at www.georgiador.mickle.net. And thank you for listening to the Thomas's Bacon Hour. Have a pleasant evening. There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it fluffier. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? The party was nice and the party was pumping. Oh yeah, ayo. And everyone was having a ball, yippee-i-o. Until the fellas stopped name calling. Yee-yaw. Then the girls respond to the call. I hear a woman shout out. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7. These are the stakes to make a world in which all of God's children can live, or go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die. Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home. Hiya, Barbie. Hi, Ken. You want to go ride? Sure, Ken. Jump in. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic is fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic is fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a blonde girl in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make me tight, I'm your dolly. You're my doll, rock and roll, feel the glamour and pink. Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky panky. You can touch, you can play, you can say, I'm always yours. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic is fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. 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 Welcome, my friends. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to my world. I'm King Dean, and today's show, this is Ask King Dean. Our topic today is talk about healthy eating. So answer your phone calls. Listen to ready to go. First call though. Dear King Dean, my husband is diabetic and has more trouble with carbohydrates than with sugars. I've noticed that most of the articles that you deal with on your show deal with diabetic stress, low sugar and not low carbs. It seems that he has more difficulty with potatoes, bread, and pasta than he does with the sugars. Can you explain more about carbohydrates? Well, thank you, caller. First off, all the foods that we consume is converted by our bodies into sugar, called glucose. But diabetics have a more difficult time regulating the amount of glucose in their bloodstreams than the rest of us. Nearly all the carbohydrates a diabetic eats ends up as glucose in the bloodstream, unlike protein or fat, which have little direct impact on blood glucose levels. To achieve good glucose control, diabetics need to pay close attention to the amount of carbohydrates they eat. There are two categories of carbohydrates: sugar and starch. Sugar includes glucose, fructose, and lactose. Starches are grains, pasta, and potatoes. Whether we consume sugars or starches, our bodies eventually convert them to glucose. The body doesn't know or care when the glucose comes from a pasta, a piece of candy, or a piece of fruit. To the body, glucose is just its favorite source of energy. Diabetics need to be more concerned about the amount of carbohydrates they eat at each sitting, rather than the source, because this is what determines how much glucose reaches the bloodstream. That said, fruits, which contain fructose, and milk, which contains lactose, have been shown to have less of an effect on blood glucose levels than some starches. Sucrose, aka table sugar, has less of an effect on blood glucose than bread, rice, or potatoes. Whatever all the hype about lower carb diets these days, make sure that your husband realizes that carbohydrates and controlled amounts are still an important part of his diet. Hope this helps. Thank you, Carlo, for that wonderful question. Anybody else who has any questions about health, call this number now. Here's one from a person from San Juan, California. Hello, Carlo. Dear King Dean, I have recently seen more and more recipes that call for unsalted butter. If I don't happen to have any hand, is that going to make a difference in taste or consistency of the dish? Well, thank you, Carlo. Not in a big way. Salt acts as a preservative and adds little flavor to butter. Lightly salted butter is sometimes called sweet cream butter, and is best used as table butter and general cooking needs. Unsalted butter, also called sweet butter, is used mainly for bacon. Although unsalted and salted butter may be specifically recommended for cooking or baking purposes items, they can generally be substituted for one another. For comparison purposes, 1 tablespoon of lightly salted butter contains about 105 milligrams of sodium, and unsalted butter contains none. Thank you, Carl, for that wonderful question. If anyone has any questions, call our number at 888-425-6145. Our next caller is from Albany, Oregon. Hello, caller. Dear King Dean, I have started replacing all-purpose flour with soy flour when coating chicken. I would like to try adding some soy flour when baking. Do I need to add more leavening? Is there anything else I need to be aware of when incorporating soy flour into my cooking? Well, Carlo, good for you for trying to incorporate more soy flour into your diet. Soy flour is a great source of high quality protein, dietary fiber, and important vitamins and minerals, just as isoflavones. So isoflavones are believed to act as antibiotics, antioxidants, and have other beneficial effects on blood vessels and the heart. Soy flour is also a good source of iron, B vitamins, and calcium. If you use the following guidelines when baking with soy flour, you shouldn't have to add more leavening. Here are some tips that I recommend. In yeast spreads, try replacing 115% of the wheat flour with soy flour. An easy way to do this is to put about 2 tablespoons of soy flour into a cup measuring cup before filling it with white flour. Wheat flour provides gluten, which gives structure to the bread so it cannot be easily replaced. Quick breads can accommodate up to 25% soy flour. For each cup of flour called for, use a quarter cup of soy flour and 3/4 cup of wheat flour or all-purpose flour. Baked products containing soy flour may brown more quickly. Try reducing the baking temperature alone in the oven temp by 25 degrees. Then keep close watch on whatever you're baking. Stir soy flour before measuring since it can come back down in the container. Lightly toast soy flour before using it in a recipe enhances its nutritional value. Briefly heat soy flour in a dry skillet over medium heat, stirring occasionally. Okay, we have another caller from Sin Valley, California. Dear King Dean, to calculate nutrition values, I'd like to know how much salt is retained in potatoes and pasta after draining the cooking water. That is a great question, caller. Although the amount may vary slightly depending on the food being cooked, scientific studies have shown that about 33% of the sodium is retained. So if 1 teaspoon of salt is added to cooking water, a third of a teaspoon or about 800 milligrams of sodium will be retained. To determine the amount of sodium per serving when you're calculating nutritional value, divide the amount required retained by the number of servings. Well, my friends, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening to King Dean's Health Show, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Goodbye. There is a fifth dimension beyond that is which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It's an area we call the Twilight Zone. Baby, can't you see? I'm calling. A guy like you should will a warning. It's dangerous. I'm falling. There is no escape. I can't wait. I need a hit. Baby, give it. You're dangerous. I'm loving it. Too high. Can't come down. Losing my head. Spinning round and round. Do you feel me now? Oh, the taste of your lips. I'm on a ride. You're toxic. I'm slipping under with a taste of a poison paradise. I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? And I love what you do. Don't you know that you're toxic? It's getting late to give you up. I took a sip from my devil cup. Slowly it's taking over me. As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain, but that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know my son fancies things like electricity. At 4:30 in the morning, I'm milking cows. Jebediah feeds the chickens and Jacob piles food. And I've been milking cows so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. I'm a man of the land. I'm into discipline. Got a Bible in my hand and a beard on my chin. But if I finish all my chores and you finish thine, then tonight we're going to party like it's 1969. We've been spending most our life living in an Amish paradise. I churned butter once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. It's hard work and sacrifice, living in an Amish paradise. We sell quilts at discount price, living in an Amish paradise. I, King Dean, have special instructions to players, preferably in baseball. In a contest between two leading clubs during the championship game, the stands being crowded with patrons of the game, a gentleman occupying a seat in the front row near the player's bench asked one of the visiting players who was going to pitch for them. The player made no reply. He didn't ask a second time. The gentleman, his wife, who sat with him, and others of both sexes, within hearing distance, were outraged upon hearing the player's reply in a loud, brutal tone. "Oh, go fuck yourself." On being emoted with by his fellow players, who told him there were ladies present, he retorted he didn't give a damn and that he had no business there anyhow. This shocking indecency was brought to the attention of the league at the Philadelphia meeting in November of 1942, and a committee was appointed to report upon this baseball crime, define and search for its remedy. in response to nearly 100 communications addressed to umpires, managers, and club officials, soliciting definite, positive, and personal knowledge of obscene and indecent language upon the ball field, the committee received a deluge of information that was so appalling as to be almost beyond belief, showing conclusively and beyond contradiction that there was an urgent need for legislative action on the part of the league. That such brutal language as, "You cocksucking son of a bitch," "You prick-eating bastard," "You cunt-lapping dog," "Kiss my ass, you son of a bitch," "A dog must have fucked your mother when she made you," "I fuck your mother, your sister, and your wife," "I'll make you sick," "I'll make you suck my ass, you cocksucker," and many other revolting terms are used by a limited number of players to imitate umpires and opposing players, and are mostly used upon the ball field. Is vouched for by the almost unanimous assertion of those invited to speak, and who are competent to speak from personal knowledge. Whatever it be the language quoted above, or some other infinite invention of depravity, the league is pledged to remove it from the ball field. Whatever is necessary, the removal of the offender for the day or for all time. Any independent or obscene word, sentence, or expression unfit for print or the human ear, whatever mentioned in these instructions or not, is contemplated under the law and within its intent and meaning, and will be dealt with without fear or favor when the fact is established by conclusive proof. By the order of the committee. In my final words, I have to say, don't worry about baseball this year. Just don't play at all. And remember 1994. Thank you. I got my first real 6-string. Bought it at the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69. Me and my friends, we had a band. We tried so hard. Jody quit. Jody got married. So we know we could have gone far. Now look like now. The summer seems to last forever. And if I had a choice, then I know I mean it. Those were the best days of my life. Shout through the heart, and you're to blame. Darling, you give love a bad name. An angel smile is what you sell. You promised me heaven, then put me through hell. Chains of love got a hold on me. When the passionate's a prison, you can't break free. Oh, you'll hold a gun, yeah. Oh, there's nowhere to run. No one can save me, the damage is done. Shout to the heart, and you're to blame. You give a bad name. I play my heart, you play your game. You give love a bad name, bad name. You give love a bad name. Just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The water started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor, and Marianne here on Gilligan's Isle. Attention, Tree TV viewers, our show ends at 8 p.m. If you need any assistance, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to help. Have a pleasant good evening. As always, thank you for watching Tree TV. on Gilligan's Isle, The Outer Limits.